Well, to be honest with you, actually, it was raining here like until 10 minutes ago, and I didn't have internet. And I was like thinking, okay, who can call this meeting now? I was looking for volunteers worldwide who can actually be instead of this meeting. But we survived. We have the internet back, so it should all be working. So who else do we have here, Lisa? It's great to see you again.
Hey.
Tell
Hey,
us
Maya,
what,
how are you?
I'm fine. Tell us what's the weather in UK?
Oh, it's hot, it's dry. Yeah, it's nice. I hear it's been raining in Europe.
It's crazy. I think we're all gonna start
'Cause-
swimming soon.
No, it's really, well, fingers crossed. It's very warm. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So great. Should I put where I'm from? Because I don't know, is everyone from
Please,
different
please,
countries?
please
So
introduce
exciting.
yourself. Yes, and say what you do. It would be really nice for people to know what you do.
Oh, hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Lisa. I host London WooCommerce every week, and yeah, I'm a fan of GoDaddy, and that's why I'm here, and I love Maya. But no, she's been great. Yeah, I'm just basically getting to know people across the community, and my WordPress background is, yeah, I've just been a WordPress designer, developer, and now I'm sort of getting more into the business side again, working with Woo and conversion for companies and businesses. Like my background's fashion, so yeah, great to be
Well,
here.
thank you very much. We really appreciate, and I hope that whoever would like to get in touch, maybe you can use chat actually to leave your Twitter handles if you'd like, so people can start following you on social media, so we can connect more and share more information. So just leave, if anybody would like, just leave your Twitter handle. I'll start with my own. So to open this fire of Twitter handles. Here it is. Please connect anytime if we haven't connected already. Who do we have here else? David, would you like to introduce yourself? Welcome to our meetup. Okay, David might not be next to the computer, but today we are speaking about very interesting topic. I don't know how many of you actually are involved in website maintenance. I'm sure at some point you were or you will be, and I'm sure Cami, you are actually an expert in maintaining websites. So it will be really great to hear the presentation that Predrag Zdravkovic, who is today with us, who will be holding. And in addition to that, it will be really great if you guys can engage and let us know your opinion, because there are so many things that are changing, and some things that were true before these days are not. Some things are constantly true, but I hope we will be able to organize a very interesting meetup today. So, shall we start? It's 7:07. Well, I don't know, people should start joining soon, but I think we shouldn't actually prevent you from getting the new knowledge. So I'd like to introduce to you Predrag. Predrag works for GoDaddy, and he will tell you more about himself and more about the topic today just in a second. Thank you very much.
Hi, guys. First, I'd like to thank Cami for joining us. We don't know each other well by name, but we communicated a lot via ticketing systems, and yeah, so it's nice finally seeing you here.
It's nice to see you too.
So as Maya said, I work at GoDaddy as an advanced tech support. And first, I want to say that like most people in WordPress, I didn't choose WordPress, it chose me. I started playing with the idea of making my blog a while back while I was in college. I studied special education and rehabilitation and speech and language therapy. And I was so frustrated because there was not enough resources available online in my native language. And out of that frustration, a need was born for me to create a blog where I would share the knowledge and help fellow students that were also struggling finding those resources. So bit by bit, I was learning how to build a website, and to be honest, I was never truly happy. I had so many ideas, and when I put them all together, it just I wasn't happy with it. But a fortunate event in this story is that I discovered WordPress. And while I was learning, my professional path changed its course. So let's push a fast forward button to present moment. I now support managed WP and pro sites dashboards here at GoDaddy, and I tackle all sorts of WordPress issues on a daily basis. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to save time with different website management tools. And I have an apology for Maya. When she asked me to share my experience, we both had something completely different in mind. And she's going to kill me for changing the entire talk last minute. Sorry. Also, this means that I don't have PowerPoint presentations. So, well, we can make it more interesting. Actually, we're not going to be looking at a presentation, but each other. So it's a plus. And yeah, that's about it. There's no PowerPoint, just me. So the biggest thing I wanted to cover today is the struggle most agency and freelancers have when they try to scale up and grow their businesses. And I will try to focus on the pain points each one of you experienced and see how the website management tools help. Specifically in this situation, I'm going to talk about GoDaddy Pro tool and how you can use it to grow your business and save time with a lot of tedious tasks. Back when I was starting, I had a mentor. He was obsessed with cars. He once said that a website is like a car and that you can buy or build the safest and fastest one out there, but without a proper maintenance, it's not going to stay fast and safe for a very long time. So you need maintenance for things to function and to stay cool. This stayed with me, and I believe it shaped how I feel about website maintenance in general. Your customer's business is the race car driver, and you're one of the reasons he wins every day. So it could be that I'm heavily influenced by my education here. Maybe it's just me, but helping others achieve their daily wins is something I really enjoy doing. And if you're anything like me, you're going to give every client the attention they deserve. And this is where the problems start. This is where the first bump in the road appears. With each new client, you have less time to invest in actual maintenance. So the more clients you have, the more attention you need to divide between them, and that's when your maintenance business really starts to suffer the quality of it. This is why I believe you need to have a scalable maintenance plan. So what is a scalable maintenance plan and how do you get one? To create it, to plan how you're going to approach this, you need to identify your client's needs first. And then you need to translate those needs into your own needs. To be precise, you need to figure out what you need as a support system to help them with their websites. I'm not sure if it's making any sense. Yes, when you do this, you end up with a list of tasks you need to do every day. Those tasks are your job, but it's also a Bermuda Triangle where all your time disappears. In most cases, those tasks include like handling multiple access details, You usually need access to domain and hosting accounts. You need WordPress admin access, etc. You also need to create daily backups. Well, they don't have to be daily, but they need to be frequent for your safety. And you never know when you'll need one. So to be on the safe side, create backups often. You might need to regularly check and delete spam comments. Also run different performance tests and tweak the website based on the results you get. Optimize database from time to time, optimize images, find broken links and fix them, etc. Some clients may ask you to manage their content as well, but with maintenance business, it's not that often. And two big ones for the end. Manage their WordPress files as well as plugins and themes, and showcase your work, because without showcasing your work, they don't know what they're paying for. While the site is up and it's running, everything's fine. They have no idea the effort you have to put in so the website stays that way. Now, some of the tasks I mentioned, you can't really speed up that much. But luckily, most of them can be used in a different ways so you can save time. So you can use different tools and different plugins. But in my experience, the best time saver is having everything centralized. Having a single place, some sort of overview, command center, where you can keep track of everything and where you can easily check if something needs to be done, if something requires your immediate attention, and you don't have to waste your time juggling between different services. Let me illustrate this. The beauty of WordPress is that you can do almost anything from the admin panel. So 99% of things you do on a website are done from WP admin panel. And one of my favorite things about ProSite's dashboard is the one-click login option. You can add as many websites as you want to the platform, and you get the easy access to WP admin with a single click to all of the sites you manage. So you don't have to keep track of all the credentials and things like that. I remember one client specifically. They were so excited when they figured out this option that they opened a support ticket with the sole purpose of stating how much time they saved every week just by having a centralized place with an easy WP admin access. This option is, of course, completely free for anyone. For the website to be connected, you don't have the website doesn't have to be hosted by GoDaddy. You can host it anywhere, and it costs nothing. So it's a kind of a win-win situation. If the website is hosted by GoDaddy, there are some perks, but we can discuss them later. Another, and maybe even my favorite task, is so time-consuming, maybe even the biggest of all I mentioned earlier, and it seems very easy. So it's managing WordPress files, themes, and plugins. Your clients require you to manage all their WordPress files, themes, plugins, and it's my experience that almost every freelancer sees this as a source of steady monthly income. So everybody offers this to their clients, well, almost everybody. And truth be told, it's not a very hard task. It doesn't require any insane skills, but there is a lot of it. You have to do a lot of things, and it takes insane amount of time if you have a lot of websites. I remember the mentor I mentioned earlier, the one obsessed with cars. While I was like picking up tips and tricks from him, He worked for a website maintenance agency at that time, and I remember how overwhelmed I was when I saw their workflow. They had a lot of clients, and they divided the installation and update duties between employees. So each had a 1 day a week, and it's all they did. They were just spending their entire workday checking if plugins and themes needed to be updated, and they did it. Sorry. Sorry. So they spend the entire day, their work day, just checking if anything needs to be updated. And it's kind of funny, and I didn't understand it at that time, but now I do. The highlight of their day was if an update breaks the website. So then they have to deal with something interesting instead of just checking and clicking update. And it was strange at the time, but now I completely understand why that was the highlight of their day. They didn't have a centralized solution, and without it, you'd need to access each and every one of your clients' websites manually. It takes approximately 5 minutes to update everything if there is an update. But you still have, even if there isn't any updates, you still have to access the website and check to see. So just checking, let's say 100 websites can take up to 2 hours maybe. With 400 websites, it's an entire workday. With a centralized solution, it's done in a matter of minutes. And that's another thing I like with the Pro dashboard. It offers a centralized solution for this. Also, it's accessible to anyone. It's free. So updating plugins, themes, you have it all in one place, and it really saves you a lot of time, and it's free. So, and I wanted to show you how it works, but I had trouble recording a video, so unfortunately I can't do it now. But there is, it's not just for updates. You can use it for installing or deleting plugins and themes, which also takes a lot of time if you want to have one plugin installed across 50 websites. Without a centralized solution, you'd have to manually go to each website and install it, and then go to the other site and install it, etc.
That's very interesting. I would like
Yeah.
to pause here for a second, because I'm sure there's a lot of experienced people who here have experience with maintaining websites. So perhaps how many of you, I'd like to know, I mean, how many of you in general are maintaining websites? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest don't have the camera on, so I believe there's even more people. So let's say 4 of you. So I would like to ask each of you, do you use any centralized dashboard to follow your clients' maintenance progress, or do you do it manually? What's the story? Cami, do you want to try here first, and then we break the ice?
Sure. I use Manage WP, and I have been using it since 2015, and I am managing 150 client websites, plus all the mock-ups that I'm currently working on. I back up all the work that I'm doing for new design or redesigns in there as well. So I think I have 169 sites in my Manage WP dashboard, and it's the start and finish to every day, and it's the most important tool I have, and it really changed my life as a web designer, because I was able to build recurring income from selling care plans, which has been great because right now with COVID, it's really slowed down the new incoming business, but I'm quite busy with just the work I've got right now. In fact, I had a client text me in the middle of this presentation that her website looked funky, and I rolled it back to last night's backup while we were talking, and I'm working on it right now. So I absolutely don't know what I would do without it.
Could you tell me perhaps, if you have any idea, how much time you have saved by automating this part of the work? Is there any like parameter that we could use or something that could be shareable with other people?
Well, I would say it's got to be at least, at this point, I'm going to just guess that it's more than 5 hours a week. It's more than an hour a day for sure. When I have a blog post I'll share with everyone that I wrote a few years ago, but I was literally in tears when I found Managed WP and decided to do a care plan, because I was waking up in the middle of the night thinking, I know so-and-so isn't doing their updates and their website's going to get hacked and they're going to call me and I don't have time to deal with it. And, you know, my clients just immediately trusted me when I said, I need you to sign up for this because it's going to help me take care of your website. And now it's just part of it's part of every website that I build. So, but it's countless hours. I don't even know how to wrap my brain around that, because if this client that just texted me, if I didn't have Managed WP to look and say, okay, it looked normal last night, I'm just going to roll this back and then I'll figure out what happened. And most likely it's a plugin that didn't update all the way or something. It would have taken me so much more time to figure out what really happened, right? But I've got a record of what my website looked like every day because I'm making a backup every night. So.
Sure. Thank you very much. In the meantime, I want to say welcome to Sara, Abha, Nicola, Yelena, and I believe that's all the new people that we have. In case you're wondering what we're talking about at the moment, is we're trying to see how many people in this group currently present in this meetup actually use some automating dashboards or automated dashboards to help them maintain their clients' websites. So this is a view from America. So let's hear now another view from Africa. Nigel? What do you think? How would do you use any automated dashboards to maintain websites?
Yeah, I've started using GoDaddy Pro.
Oh, you have?
And yeah. The main thing I like about it is that I don't need to use my password to log into WordPress. Because if I'm logged into GoDaddy Pro, it automatically logs me into all of my WordPress sites.
Oh. Yeah, it's one of the best features.
Yeah.
And have you noticed, I don't know how long you've been using it, but I would say some short time. Have you noticed any?
Yeah, short time.
Have you noticed any change in sense of that you have more time to spend on other things? Actually, does it help you in saving time?
Yeah, but I haven't really gotten into using it a lot, but so far it has helped a little bit. And I just have a few sites, just 3 or 4 sites.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Cami, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat Cami. Cami is...
Hey, I started with just a couple of sites too. So everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So, Christopher, thank you for joining us today. Do you maintain websites as well for the clients?
I do, and I recommend. Yeah, I do. Yeah, we do. I have done it in the past, and I do currently. Managed WP, usually, or historically I have. GoDaddy Pro is basically the same, though, isn't it? I've also used Blog Vault. I think have a package of systems for it, and there's another third one that I can't remember that I've used as well. I think there's 3 main providers in the market.
Yeah, not many providers in the market, right?
No, they have their pros and... Sorry, go on.
Main WP also.
Oh, main WP, that's it, yeah. They have their pros and cons. You need a combination, though, of that and some security software to some degree. I think one of them is missing. I think, is it BlogVault or BlogPress are trying to do everything there at the moment? What's the difference between Managed WP and GoDaddy, though, Pro?
That's a
They're
great
both
question.
owned by GoDaddy, aren't they?
Correct. That's a great question from Predrag. Actually, Predrag is an expert to explain it.
Yeah, they're basically the same with one small difference. Actually, two differences. In GoDaddy Pro, you can add non-WordPress websites as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in Managed WP, you can, well, manage only WordPress websites. And for GoDaddy Pro, you can easily access it from within your GoDaddy account, central account,
Mm-hmm.
under your products, and use 2FA that way instead of on the login screen for the Managed WP. And the colors and the fonts, but functionality-wise, that's it.
Why aren't they consolidated?
It's a
They're the
great,
same.
yeah, they are, but it's a great question for our product team or marketing, Maya.
Correct. I mean, there's always, I mean, there are so many strategies, and I believe there was supposed to be a strategy for 2020, but in these times that we had to think into other fields and services and help our customers, I still don't know what's the final decision. I think Managed WP is a self-standing brand, you know, and it has its own followers for so many years. GoDaddy Pro is a new product that it's supposed to actually be even more advanced. So the team is working on it. So we'll see in the next couple of quarters how this is going to move on. I hope this answers your question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we have our friend Estella for the Estella for the first time. Estella, thank you for joining us today. You also mentioned that you manage websites, right?
Yes.
So
I am also a Managed WP fan, so it is the only tool actually, when I started, it was the first tool somebody told me about or read about it. I started using it, and I am just so happy with it. I really haven't even taken the time to go look into something else. I mean, it's great. It's obviously I do pay for some services. It has saved me many times. I have one client that for some reason they love, people love to hack that website. And it's been down more than 4 times in the 4 years that I've been taking care of them. And I always say that we just go in, change the, use my backup, replace it with my backup, and there you go, up again, and they cannot access it. We have moved it to a different hosting, and they still they still find it. We just don't know what it is, but they kind of like to hack that website.
So you've been marked, right?
Yeah, probably would be marked. It's just it's a magazine, so they have a lot of links, and it's through those links that they keep on that they have entered or access the website. So
does anyone have a similar problem like Estella? Is there a way that we can help her actually to stop being the target of this hacker?
Can you connect Estella to your colleagues from Securi? Maybe they can
Sure.
take a look at the site and find out what is going on.
Every time it's a different link. We have Securi, actually. We do have it, and each time, it's like I said, it's because it is a magazine, and they have many links on every article. That sometimes all the time they find just one link. But I think that 4 times in 4 years is not that much. It's not that often, but yeah, it's always been like that. So we have a rule that links that are, I believe, 3 years and older, we just remove the links. We just remove access to the links. That way we don't leave anything open. And I am constantly reviewing links to make sure that everything is working. And yeah. But we're good. We're good. And yes, Sakura has said the same thing. It's like, it's the links. Avoid adding so many links to the website, but you know, it's a magazine. That's what they need.
Mm. Well, we will see how that will develop. Please let us know if there are any.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We're good. I think we're good.
We'll take now into consideration each time you visit us to ask you were there any attacks in the meantime and how did you solve them, because now it's a big knowledge that you can share actually with other people as well, how to solve these things. Well, do you guys have any questions, or we can just continue with the presentation further?
Yeah.
Okay. Predrag, the floor is yours.
So I kind of forgot where I was, but yeah, we were talking about having everything in one central place. So the first part was all about centralization. And there's a different approach. Not everything can be centralized, and you don't benefit from centralization always. The different approach is automation. So some things save you more time if you automate them, and it's not necessary for them to be centralized, grouped in one place, but it's more important to have those tasks done automatically without you moving a finger. So the second time-saving technique is automation. And when you're handling maintenance, performance, and security for a large number of WordPress websites, it's a very complex task. It gets worse if you don't offer hosting services. So your clients are using different hosting solutions, and each one is a bit different and has some additional services tied to it. So most of the hosting providers nowadays offer free backups with the hosting plan, but it's always better to have a secondary offsite backup, like the one in Pro Sites and Manage WP, the one Estelle and Cami are using. So there's a lot of plugins that can give you backups for free, and there's even, you can do it manually just by accessing the server and copying the files. But it's also time consuming, and it doesn't provide you the automation that you need to save time. So to get the automation, you always have to pay something. This is actually the task that's ideal for automation. And in Pro Sites and Manage WP, you have the free one that's being done automatically once a month. But it's, in my opinion, it's for an average client, it's not frequent enough. And then there's the paid one, which costs, I believe, it starts at $2 per month per website. But we mentioned some perks before, and if a website is hosted on GoDaddy, you get that premium backup free of charge in both Manage WP and Pro Sites. And for me, the automation of backups give you that additional safety, and it really gives you a peace of mind when there's an emergency. You know you have a reliable backup to go back to. And having a notification if a backup fails, it's also a plus, because then you have to deal with one single backup manually instead of doing everything manually. And while we're at the automation, there's a couple of more, in my opinion, very boring tasks that you can automate to make your life easier. Doing different performance scans. Unfortunately, tweaking a website to perform better is something that's always going to require your knowledge and attention. But knowing when and which websites require that attention can be easily automated. The same goes for security scans. you have to deal with the threat directly, but you don't have to live in fear. You can set the scans to be done automatically, and just don't worry about security issues unless you get a notification that says you should pay attention to something. And the last one of my favorites, client communication. Having like being in touch with your client is one of the most important things, because you need to be, by sending the report, you're staying in their inbox and their mind the same amount of time you stay on their bank statements. So they know you're doing a lot of things, and when they need when someone they know needs a reliable website, they're gonna think of you rather than someone else, because you're in contact with them all the time. And if there's nothing extraordinary happening on their website during a month, you can automate the reports and just keep them in the loop about regular month-to-month things you did for the website. And if there's an emergency, I'm sure they will find a way to get in touch with you. So chances are there's a lot more tasks you can either centralize or automate, and even mix the two. So automate things you already centralized. But I'd like to hear your opinions. Which one is more important in your opinion? Having things centralized or having things automated, and why? If anybody would like to start.
Robert, please say something.
Depends.
That's very good. That's good enough to start with. So I think Elisa are you raising your hand? Would you like to say something?
Oh no, I just said that was fantastic. Thanks, Predrag. Lovely talk. I've just messaged you actually.
Very good, very good. Thank you. We don't
so very good, yeah.
But
questions?
Yes, would you have a question or no? Okay, so Olga asked, I'm checking manually pages after an update. I suppose it's possible to use Puppeteer to automate testing of pages before and after. I wonder if there is ready-to-use solution. Peja, would you be aware of any solution that would fit this requirement?
Wait, Olga's question.
Yes, Olga's question.
Actually, there is. In ProSites, you have safe updates. Well, the same as in Managed WP. For it to work, you need to have premium backups, of course, because safe update first creates a backup of the site. Then we grab a screenshot so you can compare the before and after. Then each plugin and theme, everything you want to update gets updated. And the final two steps are first checking the HTTP response. So whether the website crashed after the update. And if the response is 200, then everything seems fine. And we do a screenshot, another one, so you can compare the before and after. And that's about it. I can email you some documentation about this, maybe user guide or something if you want.
Great, actually, thanks. Because, you know, it's when you have, you know, some kind of e-commerce shop, some bit of trouble, even a slightest trouble can cause a lot of money.
Yeah.
So safer to do it manually and check everything on a staging side before you are updating the working thing.
Yeah, I agree.
That also saves time, right? It saves you time from first doing it and then later on rolling it back and checking it.
Yeah.
Olga, How many websites do you maintain?
You know, it's a problem. I don't have much because it's tricky to make people to pay you for this maintenance regularly. Usually they came when some kind of issue is coming, or it's came already, and you are solving problems. It's mostly like this, but of course I have sites with regular updates and people who actually care about sites and productivity, etc. So not much, so I can do it manually.
Well, now there's a way you can automate everything. Maybe that will help.
I hope, yeah. You need to sell this solution not only to yourself but also to your client. It's a bit tricky.
Mm-hmm. So Peja, when we talk about the relationship with clients, how do you present actually? I mean, in order to gain a client, you need to present some type of proposal, and you should actually specify what type of works you can do. So how many of the work actually, when it comes to maintenance, could be done through automated scheme? How would you actually propose like a certain proposal to be written to clients, or how do you approach them?
Well, I've never been a freelancer, so I can't really say I'm not like chasing clients, but based on people I interact with, it's best to via recommendation. And have a satisfied client who's going to recommend you to someone else.
And what you were mentioning about GoDaddy Pro, do the clients also have to have an open account with GoDaddy Pro in order for their websites to be managed through? So that's one of the things, right? Which I think it's important to say. And is there anything else you'd like to mention about automated process?
Well, no. I believe in centralization and automation. Those are just two, when combined, they really make your life easier.
Sure. I'm going to share a link just to actually the GoDaddy Pro site, so you can check it out. And I mean, we haven't demoed anything, so we're talking abstract in an abstract way about something that's very technical and clear. So I'm just going to share this link if you guys would be interested, just to check it out. And to ask you, would you guys have some question for Peja when it comes to this process, or when it comes to actually the support, how does it work, or anything else related to automated dashboards, at least from the knowledge that he has? Well, I don't see too many people actually asking.
I have a question.
Please.
What kind of service you can provide to sites on another platforms, not on WordPress?
Yes, in Manage WP, you can't add anything that's not a WordPress website, but in Pro sites you can, and you can use most of the tools like performance scans, uptime monitoring, security scan, client reports to showcase your work. You can't use only WordPress specific tools like backups, theme and plugin management, and users, and optimization tool. I believe everything else applies even to non-WordPress websites. And of course, my favorite, one-click login, because it's not a WordPress website, you don't get that option.
Okay, thanks.
And I have one question also, because I was speaking about freelancing, so I'm curious, as a person grows from, for example, a freelancer to agency owner, does the need for different tools alter? For example, if you were like a freelancer has one kind of needs and agency owner maybe others, is there any switch from needs for different tools and automation and centralization?
Well, thanks for the question. Tiana, is it? Yeah. The needs of freelancers and agencies are the same, but the way they manifest can be a bit different, because when you're a freelancer, you do most of the work yourself. In an agency, you have to navigate and split tasks. So I'm going to do one thing while somebody else does the other thing. And the collaboration is the main difference, I'd say.
Yeah,
The need to efficiently navigate and collaborate between people is the main difference.
Yeah, and regarding automation, does this tool help in collaboration in some way, or maybe in centralization or something?
Yes, actually, yes, it helps, because there in both Managed WP and Pro sites, there is a collaboration tool that allows you to add your collaborators and grant them access to your account. And you can grant them full permissions, or you can just limit them to a single website. And in that way, you can allow them, for example, WP admin access without creating a specific user for them on the website, and even or providing them with your own credentials. So you just create a collaboration account and use that for them to access the website.
Thanks.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I was
You
frozen
were
for.
for a second.
Yeah, I tend to do that when it's inconvenient. Before we start with the game, we again prepare the game and the Amazon gift voucher that goes along with it. I just wanted to ask people who actually maintain clients' websites, if you charge the service, do you pay for the certain services on their behalf, or you pay from your pocket and then you charge the client? How usually you do it?
May I happy to answer that one from my perspective. We do a mixture. We provide some of the services we pay for, because quite often clients get so mixed up in what to pay for that I've had instances where they bought the wrong thing. And we also have clients, specifically if it's a long-term project or a government project, that they need to pay for themselves. So I'm just walking away from the dog, because it needs to be in their name, and for their governance perspective, they have to have everything, particularly charities. They have to have so much specifically registered to them. But I normally make sure that if they register themselves, that I am a named person on that account, so that when it goes into difficulty or they have a problem, I can still be the person that the company talks to. Interesting.
Do you use any specific dashboard for this, or you just have a different way of doing it?
It's a mixture. I have a dashboard with some hosts that I use, that is so that all my clients are on one dashboard for me, which is great. I have others that are not, and it's a bit more difficult because you have to enter into everything yourself, and that makes it more difficult. For plugins in particular, when you're buying them, it's much easier if the company can give you an account management platform, and some of the plugins are now doing that.
That's cool. Actually, Ali said that he charges. Ali, can you speak? Can you talk to us? How you do the payment?
Yeah, sure. So I have a few clients on my freelance, and usually I whenever I need to buy something for them, I buy it from my I buy it and bill them on our monthly bill or our yearly bill, whatever was the plan.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you perhaps would like to have an option where you could have an authorization from your client to pay from their credit card, and then actually the whole cost goes to them? Would that be of any assistance to you?
Actually, some exceptional times when there is maybe a big payment or there's some exceptions where I need to get their financial details, like their credit cards. So if there is a tool that manage this, it would be helpful.
All right. And we also had Robert before we return to Predrag, if Predrag has anything to say. So Robert, what you said about the plugins, let me read it again. So we pay all the plugins if we use one externally because we don't want to play with telephone with support team of the plugin. So that's an experience talking from you, right?
Yeah, we are when we need to talk to a external like plugin author, we are, let's say that way, we know our way around in WordPress, and when we go to an external plugin author, they treat us like a normal like customer, and we need to make sure very fast that we know exactly what the reason with their plugin is, and we just need them to fix something. We sometimes provide the patch or something like that. So for the way for us, it's just like we want to be the owner of the account so that we can have direct access to the support team and not send the client a message that they can relay to the support team. And we need all the direct access. And the extra thing is we need direct access because we have a installation called Satispress, which is like a packagist way of accessing plugins, because we use everything with Composer. When we deploy stuff, we are weird. Just for the record, for everyone else doing here WordPress stuff, we are weird. So we use Composer to deploy stuff, and with that we need everything reachable with Composer, which is not the normal way in WordPress. So that's why we have installation of the tool called Satispress, that we can put every plugin in, and then we get a Satis packagist version for us to deploy to some region or to some like environment. Yeah, weird stuff. In 90% of the way you don't need that.
Sure, but I'm sure that everything that it's impossible happens to you and that you're able to solve it, right? Good.
Yes.
But would you like to add something to the comments that we just had?
Yeah, I do it completely differently. When I have to buy something for my clients, for my website, the websites of my clients that require a license, I make them pay for stuff directly. Get your own accounts, get your own themes or plugins, because I have accepted a few clients where the websites have been built by somebody else and I just do maintenance, and I have run into issues that have been a nightmare to fix, up to the point that we have had to buy a new license for the theme, because the license that we own was under 2, 3, 4, or 5 developers ago. And the clients, they don't have it, they cannot reach out anymore to them. So and then the theme or the plugin support, they just don't give the support because we are not the owners of the license. And because I have already run into those issues, and I really hate talking to support, because when it comes to licenses, everybody seems to believe that, everybody's wrong. And I just, that's my policy. If I need a license, my clients can have their own accounts, and I mean, I have 25, I have access to 25 GoDaddy accounts, I believe. Everybody has their own domain with, you know, with GoDaddy, and I like to keep them that way. I don't want to own their domains. I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Many
that's how I do it.
Many interesting views. Abba, would you like to say something, or you're just muted by chance?
No, I was just going to add, one of the things that that we encourage a lot of firms to do now, especially small firms or sell freelancers, is if you are buying the licenses for your company's websites, for your customers' websites, and including hosting or anything really, have it written down so that if something happens to you, it's easier for somebody else to pick up and help you if you get ill. But also it means that the customer doesn't have that nightmare of a situation where they can't talk to somebody because it's all in your name, and vice versa. So that if we've had this with clients whose the lead person's died and their partner is trying to answer questions to clients, and they don't have access to anything, and we don't have it because they didn't give it to us, or didn't build it with us, they built it beforehand. And it's very, very hard work, but also at a time when people need to be concentrating on other things because someone's ill or they've passed away, it's just not nice to be having to sort out websites and things. And it's much easier if you have it planned and have that contingency and resilience built in.
Wow, so many potential risks, right? Although it looks like easy, but then from a different point of view, it can become so complicated because if you want to save time, you actually have to take care of some risks in the meantime. Anyone else would like to say something related to this?
You know, Maya, just the same. I had a lot of problems with clients who had no rights on domain, on hosting, on everything. And we was moving sites from one domain name to another, and etc. And themes without any license also. And so they had no idea that they have some kind of hacked theme and no support.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Most of the clients actually of yours are people who do groceries, make fashion, or perhaps sell cars and stuff, and they're not into the whole thing, and they don't understand that they need to save some emails which they get from domain when they buy a domain or where they buy a hosting, and then it's a chase in the inbox, find this email, or it has been deleted or something. There's a lot of risks involved, but this is the life that we live, right? Anyone else would like to join, or we can move to the game? So I believe the game is the answer. So I'm just going to show a window. So here is what I would like you to do. I would like you to go to play this either from a different browsing window or from a phone. You need to type in kahoot.it. And after ask, leave your Twitter handle, if any. If not, just leave it blank. And then you need to insert your name and a game pin. So actually the first go is the game pin. So we have Abha. We have Cami. Let's see, Peja prepared the questions for today, so we'll see how it will work. Estella, Nullbyte, I know now. Robert, I can recognize your script now. Olga. If anyone has a difficulty entering the game, please let me know. Ali, so we have 6. Tamara, great. 7. Nigel, so we're all here. Lisa? And I believe the rest of the people are maybe watching it from an iPhone or from Android. So perhaps it's kind of difficult to enter. So we're just gonna wait for a couple of more minutes. Today price is $30 Amazon voucher. So I think it's nice to have additional Amazon vouchers. So if you guys are ready, we have 8 people so far, and I believe that's it. So the competition is not hard. So let's see who's gonna win. So save time with website management tools. So let's go. First question, and I'll read it for you. You can buy or build the fastest car there, but there is without blank. It's going to stay faster. It's not gonna stay fastest and safe. So gas, eating ice cream first, maintenance, enthusiasm. Well, we're kind of enthusiastic today. So 6 answers, 3 seconds more. Okay, let's move. Let's see. Wow. So Tamara actually listened the best today, and she had the fastest finger. Let's see who's next. Webcami, Gleckler, Nullbyte, and Abha. So I believe there's going to be, the second question will be, it's a multi-select one, so you can select more. So you can save time if you ignore, automate, centralize, consolidate, and ignore, automate, centralize, and consolidate your daily tasks. And all right, so we have 6 blues and 7 yellows. That's interesting. I thought that number actually should be same, 6-6 or 7-7, but let's try to see who's next. Oh, Nullbyte. The wind is coming from Germany this time. All right, Olga 2nd, Tamara 3rd, Webcami 3, and Estella trying to work her way around. So question next, 3, centralization helps you with blank the most. Plugin installation, backups, performance scans, content management. Wow. So let's see which one is it now. I think we have 5, 6. Let's see. So plugin installation, backups, and performance scans. Wow, that's going to be interesting to see who answered. So let's see. Olga. Now, the storm from St. Petersburg is coming across. Tamara 2nd, Webcami 3rd, Nullbyte. Nullbyte, you're not fast as before. Robert, what happened?
I want Olga to win, sorry.
Ah, okay, that's also legit, totally legit. And I believe Olga deserves it. Olga actually is working, is not working, I cannot say, is contributing within the marketing team. And I've never seen anyone that much who gives herself, and the whole marketing team is happy to have her. And just yesterday the other day when we had on Saturday, when we had a short meeting, we all missed you, Olga, and we hope that you will be coming next time. So 4th question, multi-select again. You can benefit from automation while accessing WP admin, creating backups, showcasing your work, wiping the windshield. Wow, interesting.
I want to wipe my windshield now.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking now of installing it in my car because it really has something. So somebody wrote a message. Oh, Lisa had a difficulty. Sure, Lisa. We'll wait for you. Let's see. Oh, Tamara is winning. Oh, ho, ho. And now the last question. Sorry, Lisa. I'm so sorry that you had a difficulty to join the quiz, but it's an interesting thing to try, right? So next, let's go with the next question. One-click login in pro sites is free for GoDaddy hosted websites, free for all websites, costs $1 a month, and cost per click. Okay, so we have 3 answers for free for GoDaddy hosted websites and free for all websites. So let's see who actually won this game. Claire, oh, 3rd place. Pat Cami, 2nd. And Tamara won this game. Amazing, amazing. This has been like a great experience. I hope you guys like it. And I hope you learned something today. We have the winner, so thank you very much for playing our game. And it was really nice to see that you won. We have, so far we have only 1 winner, but in the future we hope to have more. Thank you very much for playing, Tamara.
Well, I just need to say thank you because all the answers I got from Teja's presentation. So it was very beneficial because I learned a lot actually. So thank you.
Well, you see, it's sometimes it's always, actually sometimes it's always, it's a wrong sentence combination. Sometimes it's good to listen to the speakers, and I would encourage you to listen to your colleagues and friends. The more we listen, that actually we have more to learn. If you have no other questions, we actually again crossed the time, and this is not the first time. Every time we're late to finish our meetup. If you don't have any question, I would wrap up the meetup and invite you to our next meetup, which is taking place on 10th of August, and we're going to be talking about fastest growing jobs in tech sector. We will have very interesting speakers from all over the world. If you have any idea or a pitch that you would like to go along, like your presentation or perhaps a vision that you have how the tech industry jobs will look like in future, so we can promote this among people who are looking for a change of career or perhaps just to stay within an industry but in a different field, it would be great to have you. So news about tech industry jobs 2020-2025 next time. Any questions? Well, in that case, I have to wrap up and tell you thank you all. It was lovely to see you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.